Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to Small Talk. Today I am going to discuss a very interesting topic. I was listening to a podcast last night. There was a group of or ex-Muslims who have become atheists now, and there was a group of Muslim, they look like college students, and they were having this debate. There was a moderator, obviously, who had multiple questions, and both groups had to give their opinion and input to answer that question. And one of the questions was, are men and women equal in Islam? And the answer to that question is yes, absolutely. Now, equality has different meanings. What equality in Islam means that men and women have equal amount of rights. Those rights may be different because we as men and women are different physiologically, because God has created us very differently. Our hormones work differently. Physiologically, our appearances are different. There are different functions that we can do as a man and woman. For example, a woman can carry a child in her womb. Man, on the other hand, cannot. Men could be very good at hunting because they're more masculine and they have more strength and more energy and they're more powerful to go out and hunt. Whereas, I'm not saying there is no exception. Women can too, but probably not as good. Women are very good at being the keeper of the house and taking care of the children, because women have the tendencies to multitask. God has given them this quality where they can do multiple things at a time, and that's why they're taking care of the house, taking care of the kids. They can still have a job and a business, and they can manage all of that beautifully because they are much more detail oriented and they are much more focused compared to men. So equality means men and women have equal amount of rights, but those rights may not be that, okay, if a man can strip off his clothes, we give equal right to women, so she can go ahead and now strip off her clothes and walk around naked in the society or half naked in the society. It does not work like that. The way we are designed, obviously women are much more beautiful and their body structure is much more appealing and it's much more sexy than men is. So men can strip off their shirt, and what's there to look? Of course, nothing. Is like a sack of meat and bones or, fluid and fat that you look at. If a woman strips off clothes, obviously it's going to arouse men and they are going to go nuts. So that's why the right that men has, it may not be necessarily a right. It may be like, okay, the woman is very precious. She is designed in a very particular way, and she is not to be a source of entertainment just for random men. So for Western women to have the equal right to go ahead and take off their clothes, walk in a bikini is not a right, it's an oppression. I've already recorded a video on American and Western women being oppressed. If you haven't watched that video, please check out my channel and watch it. So in Islam, yes, men and women have equal rights, but they have different kind of rights. So for example, women have the right to stay home. They don't have to work if they don't want to work. Does that make sense? Men, they don't have a choice. They have to go out and work in Islam. That's not their right. That's only the right of a woman. Now, man has the right to take off their clothes in public. They can strip off their shirt and no problem. Women don't have the right. They have to stay covered. So see how Islam balances everything based off of the way we are created. Obviously, God created us and He knows how men are wired, how their brains process things, how they look at women, and how women are wired, how their brain works. We all know. There's always an exception to the rule, but as a general community, we all know the women are much better in keeping the house, maintaining the house, disciplining their children, cooking, cleaning, everything, whereas men are much better at going outside of the house and face the hardship outside of the house. So I wanted to just let all the people know that Islam does give us equal rights, but our rights are very different. Obviously, we're designed different, mentally, physiologically, emotionally, Our hormones work very differently. So when they say equal rights, there's a different definition of equal rights in the West and in the East. So please look into it and see who has more rights, whether Western women have more rights or Eastern women have more rights. Maybe it will open up the eyes to those oppressed American and European women who don't realize that they are living a hell of a life. If they were to become Muslims, their life would have been, and married a Muslim man, believe me, you couldn't be any happier than that. Your life would be so much better. I hope this helps. Until next video, ciao.